Hello. I want to thank you for clicking on my channel. I'm PI187, and I've been asked to check out Dax to be a man. I just got done watching The Abyss. I really enjoyed it. And I noticed there's like three versions of this song. There's this, the original music video, and then there's two remakes. Um, So I figured the one I should check out at least first is the original one. See where it all comes from. No point in seeing the remakes first. And yeah. Let's see what this is all about.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Yeah, I know this life can really beat you down. You wanna scream, but you won't make a sound. Got so much weight that you've been holding, but won't show any emotion. As a man that goes unspoken, that we can't cry when life gets hard. Unconditional loves for women, children, and dogs. We know that we just have to play our parts, and don't nobody give a damn about our broken hearts. Yeah, as a man we gotta pay.
Jesus, fucking songs really do pull on your fucking heartstrings, don't they? They're pretty fucking pretty sad. The last one kind of almost had me tearing up. This one's starting to do the same thing.
Loves for women, children, and dogs. We know that we just have to play our parts, and don't nobody give a damn about our broken hearts. Yeah.
Is he Canadian? Did I see a Canada flag on his neck? Oh, maybe not. The hell is that? Not too sure. But in the last video too, I'm pretty sure I saw him looking at something with Canadian flags on it. So, if you know, you can put it in the comments. Is he Canadian?
Give a damn about our broken hearts, yeah. As a man, we gotta pave our way. Our only function is to work and slave.
I guess that Weldon helmet would tell you something different, wouldn't it? Yeah, and maybe he is American. Just the last song I saw some Canadian things on it, and I thought maybe he's Canadian, but oh, the helmet's saying American.
We gotta pave our way. Our only function is to work and slave. There's no respect for you if you ain't paid. You're disregarded as a human and you can't complain. And if you ever make it up and actually reach that base and find a woman that you love and give her your last name, you'll feel the things that you provide is only why she stays. And when you try to explain, you'll say, I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up, keep fighting. As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed, all the things that they...
Yeah, I fucking hear that shit. Generational curse. Fucking... My parents didn't work. My dad had a job before I was born. My mother had a job, I remember, for a short period in my entire life. Fucking not even any point in even talking about it. It was so short. And so when I finally turned 18, like, I didn't have any jobs. I lived on a farm. I did work on the farm. I I was my stepdad's basically a slave, if you want to call it. He literally just fucking, yeah, farm boy, just fucking, he put me and my brother. My brother moved out at 16 because he was so fucking tired of fucking being like treated the way we were treated. And well, I guess I'm stupid or I stayed. I couldn't do that to my mother and, go and move in with my father. So anyhow, I stuck around till I was 18. And when I was 18, I moved out on my birthday, like my fucking birthday. I packed my shit, grabbed my shit, and I moved out. And there was an apartment where my mother in law, my stepmother, sorry, lived in an apartment above my dad. Don't want to get into the technicality about it, but they had a duplex and she was renting out the bedroom. And she'd slept on the couch all the time and she's like, give me $100 a month and you can have the bedroom. So on my 18th birthday, I got $100. And so I gave that to my stepmom, the $100 to rent the room off her, which I did, and moved in, and then sat on my fucking ass for a month. It's because I didn't come from a working family, so that shit didn't really compute to me for some fucking reason. And it wasn't pushed on me. My parents weren't pushing on me like, you need to get a job, you need to get your shit together, blah blah blah. No, none of that. Just, don't care, push you along, whatever. And no encouragement towards anything. Um and so when I moved out, after a month of me being there and I have no rent money, my dad's like, "Well, I guess you got to go get welfare." Didn't say, you need to go get a fucking job. No, you need to go get welfare. That's what he told me. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's just what we do at this age now because that's all I've seen my whole life. My dad was on it, my mom was on it. So, it's and when you live with people, when the people you live with are the people they usually hang out with are the same. So most of their friends were also, and I didn't have a lot of working friends. And except for one and she was about the only one that ever tried talking me into getting a job when I was young. Always like whenever she'd come to visit, she'd try to talk me into like, making resumes and going and getting a job. And I was young and stupid and didn't think I ever was gonna need one or want one or what's the point. But young and stupid shit, right? But anyhow, yeah, so after a month, I went and just got welfare and I sat on it for years. Just didn't even try to get a job. Just sat on my fucking ass, hung out with my friends, got myself in a lot of trouble, idle hands. And it wasn't until I met my wife, who obviously wasn't my wife at the time, but she is now. Um, and she worked. She had a job when I met her, and she had been working since probably like 14. Whole different, come from a whole different type of family. And she's like, "Why don't you work?" And I said, "Because I'm too stupid." Because that's what I was told. I was told all through my life I was too stupid to fucking do anything right. Just everywhere. School, home, it didn't fucking matter. So I believed it. I believed the fucking shit that I was fucking that stupid. Like I just was too dumb to hold a fucking job. And she's like, "That's the fucking dumbest thing I ever fucking heard." And I'm like, "Well, that's just how the way it is. You know what I mean? I'm stupid, And and like I said, I totally believed it. So anyhow, eventually I got a job. My first job was at Procter and Gamble. And like I said, I was raised to work. Well, I got in there and you couldn't praise me more. Like I had sunshine blowing up my fucking ass. My fucking head grew this fucking big. Everybody, you're the most amazing worker. You fucking pick up things so fast. Blah 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 blah. Right? Like I couldn't hear enough of it. And to the point where I actually was hearing enough of it. It was starting to get sick after a while. And at the same time, I was also doing survey engineering jobs. So I'd work 12-hour continental shifts at Procter and Gamble. And when I had my days off, I'd go out doing surveying on the sides of roads and whatnot. And the guy that I was working with doing that was a friend of mine. And after 2 weeks of doing that job, he wouldn't teach me anything else. And I didn't know why, but I found out from my future brother-in-law told me, because he went and worked with him a bit because I had him eventually go and take over the job for me. He told me that the guy that was teaching me after 2 weeks realized I learned things so fast that he was so scared of me stealing his job from him that he stopped teaching me anything. Which I couldn't have stole his job from him anyways. I didn't have a driver's license or a car. And you definitely needed that for the job, but he wasn't very bright either. So anyhow, I only did that for a short while, but then when I eventually I left Procter and Gamble, and like I said, I was raised to work, and I ended up doing a job building pallets for piecework. I had a good friend trying to talk my brother into going and doing the job, and I said like we're all getting laid off across the board at Procter and Gamble. We're already warned about this shit, and I need the job. And he's like, no, you're not big and strong like your brother, which my brother is a little bit bigger, mean, and stronger, I guess, and he's just got bigger, more size to him, and he's got definitely more anger to him. I'm the lot less angry one of the two. And anyhow, he didn't want the job. He worked at Sears. Yeah, what's Sears, eh? Great choice. Doesn't work there no more. But he stuck it out at Sears forever. But yeah, so I got the job doing pallets. The same thing, like just going like I was at Procter and Gamble. Sunshine, blowing up my ass. Like I was like my buddy told the boss, this guy might be able to do it. He'll do the bare minimum. He'll be okay, but don't expect anything to, because he judged me by my size. I'm like 160 pounds soaking wet if I'm lucky, on a heavy day. You know what I mean? So, and this was a physical labor job, but he didn't realize my stories about being raised on a farm and the shit I went through, and didn't realize how the way I worked. And yeah, my first day I got in there on 2 hours of sleep because the P&G guys took me out to the bar all night, my last night, and then I started the job the very next day. And anyhow, I did twice as much as the guy that quit. I basically my job was cutting wood on a 36-inch chop saw blade like this big around, and just cutting wood all day as fast as you possibly can. It was all piecework. Cut wood as fast as you can all day, pile on a pallet. That's all I did for the first while there until I started building pallets. And yeah, more sunshine blowing my ass. Oh my god, I've never seen anybody like this. I can't believe it. Like I said, twice as much as the guy that just left them in there for 4 years. And I walked in my very first day on 2 hours sleep and was doing twice as much work as him. And so they loved me there. I spent a long time there. But it was a repeating thing. Every job I've had, it's been the same shit. It's not hard. Like funny thing is, I'm now 46 years old. When I was like 42, because of my ADHD, I tend to job jump a lot. I get angry, get mad, and we kind of don't think things through. We just do it. So I've walked off a lot of jobs and quit a lot of jobs. And not to say that they wouldn't hire me back, because I've walked out of 3 different jobs and I went back 2 to 3 times at each of them because they'll keep bringing me back because of the type of worker I am. But the reality is I might walk away someday. So when I was like 42, I think, I went back to the pallet factory, and there's 2 young guys, they were in their 20s there. And I was outworking them like no tomorrow, but reality is it's not hard to outwork a 20-year-old nowadays. And I knew their dad because he's just a little bit older than me, because he was one of the owners of the place. And they went and said, oh, this guy's here, blah, blah, blah. You know him, yada, yada, yada. And the guy's like, oh, God, he's got to be in his 40s now. What the hell's he doing that shit for, right? And they're like, no, there's no way. He's in his 20s. He's in his 20s because, the way I was working. And then they come in the next day and they're like, yeah, we got an argument with our dad. You need to fix this. Like, he tries to say that you're in your 40s. And I'm like, yeah, I am over 40. And they're just like, holy shit. But anyhow, yeah, I'm not doing that shit no more. I'm definitely got a lot easier job now. Maybe not come this winter. Once the snow starts flying, I'm going to be cleaning everybody's driveway. So basically now I'm doing lawn maintenance. So I spent all summer cutting grass and weed whacking. And then in the fall, I cleaned up all the leaves. And now I'm just sitting around doing nothing until the snow starts flying, which that might be tonight. Not too sure on that, though. But, that was a lot of talking. I'm sorry about that. Let's get back into this. Let's see where we were here. But yeah, I get it. I heard all this shit when I was a kid, and it does it. So anyhow, what I was getting at is because I've been working ever since like I met my wife. Basically, she's worked most of the time. She didn't work when we had our kids. She stayed home and raised them, but she's working now. She has a job now. My son, on the other hand, he had a job before he even hit 18, before he was even done school. And like the day he was done school, like he said, he started doing co-op. He's a welder. He started doing co-op in school as a welder, and they pretty much hired him for when he left. So as soon as he left high school, he started working there like a week later, which is where I'm getting at the breaking that generational thing, because you know he could have just ended up being like I was, but like I wasn't like that anymore, because like I said, he's been raised around his parents working, and that's what he saw his whole life, so he's done it. But we've kind of broke the chain. And also, I haven't had to beat my kids even once. Not once their whole entire life. So that's breaking a chain also.
It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up, keep fighting. As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed, all the things that they can't express. They go to war, get thrown on the shelf, then go back to war with their mental health. Then grab that bottle and ask for help, try to pull themselves out of hell, then fall back down and then realize that they're gonna have to do it themselves. It's the circle of life. As a man you provide, they don't know what you're worth till the day that you die, and that's when they start crying. Then move on to a man to confide in. That's why we feel we can't hide ourselves. We don't expect you to understand. We just hope we can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and you don't care about what we know. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home. Inside that home. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home. Inside that home.
100%. Yeah, that was a good song. I liked it. I'm gonna have to do some more checking out more of Dax's songs. He's got a really good message. Sucks to hear what happened to his mother, and then being raised like that. That must have been quite a childhood. But anyhow, this video is getting pretty long. It's 18 minutes so far, so I'm gonna wrap this up. I want to thank you for watching the video. I want to thank the guy who suggested me to check this out. Really good. I really liked it. And comment if you like. And have yourselves a great day. All right. Bye for now.